Hi everyone, my name is Wendy and my group members are Tammy, Karen, and Ariel. In this video, we are going to present a Year 1 Geography lesson sequence talking about the features of places. The learning content covered in this presentation links to Australian Curriculum Year 1 Geography, which focuses on teaching students the nature, manage, and construct features of places, their locations, and how they change and how they can be cared for. Therefore, this lesson will provide opportunities for students to identify these three kinds of features in the local places. Additionally, the concept of sustainability will be emphasized in this unit to arouse students' awareness of caring for the environment. This is because the Australian curriculum reveals that it is important for students to recognize the current environmental issues and come up with some practical implications and solutions to make our living environment better. Therefore, we pose the inquiry question for this field study. How can students make the park more interesting for children in our community? Besides this lesson sequence will also focus on developing students' researching, communicating, evaluating, and reflecting skills.
We apply the 5Es inquiry model as the basis of these learning activities in this presentation. It aims to promote students' learning initiative and passions. Thus, they are encouraged to be active learners who take control over their own learning. The 5E model follows 5 main stages, including engage, explore, explain, elaborate, and evaluate. To engage students, we plan to read a book with students and define 3 types of features with them. Afterwards, they will undertake the field trip to the McCuskey Park to explore and collect geographical data in order to explain and share with peers. When back to the classroom, we will facilitate whole groups sharing and discussions and highlight the idea of sustainability to elaborate their learning. In the evaluate phase, we will invite students to create posters to demonstrate their overall geographical understanding. Now, we are going to detail the main learning activities of this Year 1 Geography lesson sequence. Let's begin with the pre-field work.
In the pre-field work of this lesson, I will share a story, The Great Rabbit Chase, with the students. The story is about a pet rabbit who loves to escape and wreak all kinds of havoc. The whole town bands together to find this bunny, and they pass some places in the community alone. After reading the story, students are encouraged to create a story map. Students need to draw a road that the rabbit passed by on a piece of paper. For example, the rabbit first escaped from the home, then to the neighbor's backyard. After that, it crossed the zebra crossing to the school, and after that, it reached the main street to the park. After that, I will introduce nature features, managed features, and the constructed features to the students with examples. Nature environments are those dominated by nature features such as landforms and vegetation. Managed features include those human-altered landscapes dominated by elements of the nature environment. Examples include crops and planted forest. Constructed features include all the features of the environment created by people. Features of constructed environments include buildings and transportation infrastructure. For example, roads, railways, and airports. Once students have gained a concept about how to differentiate these 3 features,
I will ask students to pick some pages in the books that they love, and we are going to identify and classify features in these pages. For example, in this page, students are going to identify trees as nature features, fence as constructed features, and house as constructed features as well. Afterwards, children will be divided into groups, and they are going to explore and classify the features in the school playground. A large paper divided into 3 areas, nature, managed, and constructed features, will be provided to each group. They are going to observe the features on the school playground. Then, draw the features they observe and classify them into nature, managed, and constructed features in the corresponding areas of the paper. When finishing doing this, they will share their drawings with the class. Lastly, I will inform the children this week we are focusing on features of places. And for the next class, we are going to have on-site fieldwork to McCaskey Park. When doing our on-site fieldwork, students will continue focusing on identity features of the place. Also, I will post the inquiry question to children. How can we make the park more interesting for children in our community? To highlight what they are going to focus on on-site fieldwork. Let's move on to the next section, on-site fieldwork.
In this unit, students are going to have their on-site fieldwork in the McCaskey Park. There will be 2 activities for students to complete, which are on-site observation and drawing a field sketch. With the preparation done in the pre-fieldwork, students may have developed some essential understanding of these 3 kinds of features. To apply their geographical knowledge, students are encouraged to identify nature, construct and manage the feature of the McCaskey Park. In the park, students in groups will select their favorite place, and they are encouraged to use their sense of touch, sight, hearing to conduct some meaningful observation. To successfully and purposefully conduct the on-site observation, task sheets are provided for students so that they can follow the instruction on the paper. As the task sheet is indicated, each group needs to identify 3 nature, constructed, and managed features, and students also need to use their own words to describe the feature they identify. This can reinforce their understanding of the geographical concept, such as place and space. Slide is a constructed feature because it's built by people. Trees are nature's feature because it's part of the land. Rubbish bins are managed feature because it's maintained by the people. Considering students' different learning preference, different kinds of note-taking method will be provided for them during the observation, such as handwriting, drawing, and photography. For example, students can use their color pencil to draw down the feature they identify. Additionally, students can use iPad or camera to take photos of the feature they identify. On the task sheet, a white chart is available for students to record their feeling and overall field trip experience by drawing and writing down some short sentences and some descriptive words. Besides recognizing different kinds of features in the park, students also need to identify evidence for the inquiry questions of these lessons. Therefore, some questions on the task sheet will be provided to help students complete their research. With the instruction, students will collect evidence of how people interact with different features in the park, and whether all features are managed well or not. More importantly, students will also draw down some ideas about how to make our park more interesting on the task sheet. After finishing the questions on the task sheet, students may begin to understand the concept of environment and sustainability in geography. Another on-site activity is drawing a field sketch. In this activity, students are going to draw field sketches of their selected places. After the observation, I will gather all students together and teach them how a field sketch works. After that, I will select one spot of the park to teach students how to draw a field sketch into 3x3 screen. I will also introduce what elements need to be condensed in the field sketch. This element may include some obvious feature, the label of the main feature, length and width of the sketching area, title and sketching date. Can you see in here, we got the title and sketching date. For examples, I choose this box to teach students how to draw a field sketch. In here, we divide the field sketch into 9 grids because it can help students successfully represent the location of the feature. For example, in here, the student need to include the trees in this grid, and the ground is drawn across these 4 grids. And for the entertaining facility, they need to allocate it in this 4th area. For the higher performing student, they may include more detail in their sketch. Besides this, students also need to label the feature in their sketch. For example, trees are nature feature, so they write the acronym N in their sketch. Slide is constructive feature. They write the acronym C for the slide. After that, students will go back to their favorite place and draw a field sketch of it.
After on-site fieldwork, students will head back to the classroom, and I will facilitate the whole group discussion and sharing to invite students to represent and explain their collected data and information from the on-site fieldwork. Firstly, students are going to share their overall future experience according to their notes on the white chart or task sheet, talking about what they noticed in the park and how they feel about the park. Afterwards, I will gather students' taken photos or sketches of features and display them on the interactive whiteboard. Students are going to describe the features and sort them into groups of nature, managed, and construct features. For example, I will draw a table divided into 3 columns labeled nature features, construct features, and manage features, and write the students' sorting next to the appropriate column. An example would look like this. Trees and grass are nature features, and there are 15 light poles and 11 benches, etc. are construct features. And manage features would be rubbish bins or grass that have been cut. After whole group discussion, I will read the book Where the Forest Meets the Sea by Ginny Baker to introduce students the concept of sustainability. This book is mainly about a boy's trip to a tropical rainforest with his father. The reading experience will focus on the question from the last page, but will the forest still be here when we come back? Students will look at and compare these 2 pictures to identify what will happen to the forest in the future. During the after-reading discussions, I will explain what the concept of sustainability means and the importance of maintaining a sustainable environment. I may play this video to make the concept easier for children to understand. This video has creative and engaging animations which can vividly attract students' attention. It explains what is sustainable development from 3 perspectives, including social, economic, and environmental. After watching it, I believe students can develop a comprehensive understanding towards sustainability. Once they have developed fundamental awareness of sustainability. Then, I will encourage students to use their notes from the task sheet to respond to the inquiry question by talking about what environmental issues they are concerned about the park's engagement and contributing solutions to how they can care for the park's features and how they can make the park more fun for children. For example, we need to pick up waste from the ground and appropriately use public equipment and be gentle to the creatures to care for the environment. Also, we need to have more entertaining facilities to make the park more fun for children. I will write down students' responses on a piece of paper and display it in front of the classroom, which they may include in their next task.
After children share their on-site experience, I will invite the students to present their findings and understanding by create posters. To begin with, children will choose a photo of their favorite place in the park and display it on the poster. I will print out photos for students to glue on the poster. Afterward, children use their previous knowledge to annotate the picture and label the main feature in that place. Students will name the features and label nature features as N, and M for managed features, and C for constructed features. For example, if the tree is shown in the picture, then this can be labeled as N. After annotating the picture, children will indicate the potential issues and reasons they have found of this place. Lastly, students are going to make responses to the inquiry question and demonstrate their understanding towards the concepts of sustainability by writing down some solutions for caring for the place and improving engagement. They may represent their ideas by drawing or writing dot points on the poster. Here is a sample of poster. We can just look at the PowerPoint. So students write the title on the top of poster. So it can be My Place. And below the title, students can glue on photos in here. And they can label the feature of these pictures. So for example, the slides is constructed features, so it can be labeled as C. And the tree is natural features, so it can be labeled as N. And under the pictures, here have two boxes. So first box is issues. So for example, students can write some dot point for the ping pong table and basketball hoops are too high for us. And there is rubbish on the ground. And in another box, here is make more fun. So it means children can write some recommendation for this place. So for example, we want some more interesting things to play, such as sandpit and seesaw, and a low ping pong table and basketball hoops for us. This is only a sample. Students may be creative to design their own layout of the poster.
In this video, we have delivered a Year 1 Geography lesson sequences to scaffold students' knowledge of how to identify and classify nature, construction, and managed features of places. We have designed 7 engaging learning activities to reinforce some initiative geographical concepts, including place, space, environment, and sustainability. This field study also appropriate include literature, math-related tasks, and use of digital devices to considerate and build on students' literacy, numeracy, and information communication and technology skills. That's all for our presentation. Thank you for your attention. We hope you enjoy it.